Many of you at home might remember the 90s card craze from your childhood, and you might be surprised to hear that trading cards are bigger and more valuable than ever. So what better source to explain where the hobby is at today than the oldest card shop in Australia, Sports Card World.
Sports Card World opened in 1994. We sell a large range of AFL, NBA, NFL cards, as well as Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, and then all your card accessories. A lot of people remember how many card shops were around in the early 90s and don't really realise that the hobby's a lot bigger than what it was back then. Some people just think of it as a piece of cardboard, but it's much more than that. People do not realise how much some of these cards are actually worth. Trading cards were big in the early 90s, and I guess over the last 20, 25 years, we've seen lots of ups and downs in the hobby. But when COVID hit, there was nothing like it, and the hobby absolutely boomed.
It's been called the biggest sports card craze in a generation. Prices for lots of cards tripling or quadrupling in value in the past 12 months.
People got into the hobby if they hadn't been into the hobby before, I guess because of box breaks and stuff. People watching on YouTube became popular, so it was stuff that you could do at home. I guess you couldn't get out and about. People that collected before, it reignited their passion for a hobby that they did maybe when they were younger. Someone like Drake was really into the hobby with the amount of followers and everything that he has, and he's pretty cool. So if Drake's collecting cards, it was a cool thing to do. Influencers like Gary Vee, Steve Aoki, Logan Paul is another one. So yeah, there's lots of guys like that people look up to and follow, and created a perfect storm there for the hobby. In the boom, those card prices for LeBron James rookie cards, some of the vintage Mickey Mantle baseball cards, prices really rise. For instance, the Michael Jordan rookie card, I can personally remember seeing it in 2018, a PSA 10 was $10,000. Fast forward, before COVID, that card was selling for $45,000. Fast forward another year in the peak of COVID, and that card sold for $840,000. The amount of people that get into the hobby and investing, and just the whole buzz of the hobby created that hype of these cards. That's what pushes these prices. More and more people get in, higher demand increases. Coming off the back of the high peak of COVID, the market was just way too crazy. The values of cards, how hard it was to buy boxes of cards and supply, it was ridiculous, and the prices were just overinflated. As the hobby and the world went back to normal, the hobby sort of normalized a little bit as well, and those prices started to come back down. But they're still way higher than where they were prior to COVID. So I guess the market's leveled out, but still collecting and pricing is still a lot higher than where it was, but yeah, it has fallen from that COVID peak. People that collected maybe 10, 15 years ago, or even late 90s, if they didn't realize this boom, they would look back at their collection now and not realize that a card that they thought maybe was a $100 card could be worth $10,000 just because of how the market's pushed. I've seen it firsthand where guys have literally got out their old folder and gone, wow, I didn't realize that these cards are selling for so much, and their collections are worth, tens if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you're thinking about getting into the hobby, it's probably a perfect time, and some of the key cards are probably at that right price to really invest in. You definitely got to do your research, or go into your local card shop and ask questions, because there is a lot to get your head around, and it's good to get the right advice to find out how you want to collect, because there's so many different ways you can go about it.